Welcome to Sports Night in Auburn. I'm Taylor Strohmeyer.
And I'm Kayla Evans. Tonight we have a packed show full of recaps from multiple Auburn sports from last night and the weekend, as well as a schedule of things happening in Auburn athletics this week. Auburn returned home to Auburn Arena last night after 3 straight away games and a rough outing at LSU, and we're hoping to bounce back. But without star Sharif Cooper, who is out with an ankle injury, the Tigers could not keep up with the Gators, and they fell 74-57. The Tigers struggled offensively, making just 7 of 31 three-point attempts and shooting 35%. Without Cooper, the Tigers lacked offensive drive and scoring. Devin Cambridge was the Tigers' lead scorer with 14. JT Thor and Jamal Johnson were close behind with 10 each. The loss of Sharif Cooper affected the team in more than scoring. With no true point guard on the roster besides Cooper, small forward Allen Flanagan had to play out of position and take on the role of point guard. Moving Flanagan to point guard hurt Auburn's scoring as well, as he had just 6 points compared to his game average of 13.9 per game. Florida dominated the game defensively, as Auburn did not hit the double-digit mark until there was 6 minutes and 44 seconds left in the second half.
The Tigers trailed 44-22 at half after a dominant performance by Florida guard Trey Mann, who racked up 19 points Tuesday night. 16 of those points came in the first half. Mann also had 13 rebounds and went 8 for 14. While the Tigers' second half was better, it was not enough to overcome the hole they dug after the first half. Auburn battled back and shut down Trey Mann, who only had 3 points in the second half, but they only put up 35 points in the second half, which was not enough to catch up with the Gators. Bruce Pearl admitted the team struggled and how they are built to have Sharif, and losing him hurts the team's offense.
Obviously, we struggled tonight. Sunday, we lost Sharif. He got hurt in practice and turned his ankle pretty good. You know, we'll see how the week progresses. Obviously, we never rush guys back. He's working to try to get back, but just don't know. You know, we were built to be able to have Sharif in the middle of the floor, playmaking and doing what he does. And as a result, we score 80 points a game offensively. But defensively, you know, to hold Florida 74, 30 in the second half, talks about the effort and the energy. I think I agree. Their quickness bothered us, and that was a real factor. Fast and quick, and that's an issue for us, particularly in the backcourt. You know, we're kind of competitive. Still not playing great, but we're competitive. And then you lose them again, and it's just the kids have been through a lot. But I think we're really guard short. I think that's just our biggest issue. We'll take tomorrow off. By rule, they got to get a day off, so tomorrow will be our day off, and we'll work Thursday, Friday, and play Saturday morning in the Outlive game against Tennessee.
JT Thor said they let Florida get creative and do whatever they wanted to do instead of playing better defense, but the second half was better. Thor said they knew they needed to start working harder and playing better.
I feel like we're letting them get catches, do whatever they want to do first half. But I feel like the second half, we started picking up full, start pressuring the ball, double teaming, just running around, seeing what we can get, cause turnovers. I think we was already falling down with the big margin coming into the half, so we felt like we just had to start fighting. I mean, it happened too late, but it's better late than never. You can't take no plays off. You gotta be alert and sharp every possession, because every possession really matters. I feel like you got to go through adversity. You got to go through. I mean, to succeed, you got to fail. I mean, everybody knows that. So we're just gonna keep pushing.
The Tigers are back in action Saturday at 11 a.m. where they take on Tennessee in Auburn Arena.
Women's basketball also returned to action last night. The Tigers traveled to Starkville to play their rescheduled Mississippi State matchup from last week. The Bulldogs were supposed to travel to Auburn last week, but because of the icy weather, the matchup was postponed. The Tigers fell to Mississippi State 81-68, but it will forever be a memorable night for Auburn's women's basketball. Senior Unique Thompson set the all-time career rebounding record for the Tigers, which was previously held by Becky Johnson. Thompson broke the record with 1,119 career rebounds with 5 minutes and 38 seconds left in the third quarter, but she did not stop there. Thompson finished the game with 1,123 career rebounds, and she still has 2 games left. Thompson said, "It means everything to me. It's hard to not get choked up and teary-eyed. I had goosebumps the whole game." The Tigers battled hard against the Bulldogs, with Honesty Scott Grayson putting up a 24-point game, along with Unique Thompson's 22-point game, but Auburn was shorthanded and had just 8 players available to play due to injuries or suspension, and Mississippi State was able to pull away late. The Tigers will play their final home game of the season Thursday night as number 16 Arkansas visits Auburn Arena. Game time is 8 p.m. Central. Thompson and senior manager Trey Larimore will be honored in a pregame ceremony at approximately 7:40 p.m.
After an exciting opening weekend sweep of Presbyterian, Auburn baseball started their second series of the season last night, and their offensive momentum from the weekend carried over as they run-ruled Alabama A&M 18-2. Alabama A&M scored first with 2 runs in the top of the first inning, but a 10-run first inning by the Tigers got the ball rolling, and the Tigers could not stop scoring. Starting pitcher Trace Bright earned the win after pitching 4 innings, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits with no walks and 7 strikeouts. Judd Ward got the action going in the first with a solo homer, his second of the season. Bryson Ware matched that with a run homer a few batters later. 16 Tigers came to the plate in the first inning and 6 recorded hits, including a double hit inning by Brady Moore.
The Tigers' pitching depth proved their strength Tuesday as Peyton Glavin and Carson Swilling combined to throw 3 scoreless innings. Glavin relieved Trace Bright to start the 5th, making his first appearance since 2019. Swilling made his second appearance of the season and struck out 2 batters to end the game. Josh Hall was the star of the show, recording 3 hits and 3 RBIs. Hall finished just a home run short of the cycle. Hall said, "I was feeling good about the game before we came in. I just tried not to get too big and pop balls up and stay within myself and drive balls the other way and do the best I can to help our team win." Auburn and Alabama A&M returned to play this afternoon at 4 p.m. for Game 2 for the series. When we come back, we will take a look at the recaps from the weekend in Auburn sports. Keep it right here. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn.
Tigers traveled to the Bayou on Saturday, and it was a battle of basketball's finest freshmen, Sharif Cooper versus LSU's Cameron Thomas. They battled all afternoon, but Thomas and the LSU Tigers prevailed. The two put on a show for fans, scoring 53 points between them, with Cameron Thomas scoring a game-high 27 and Sharif Cooper scoring 26. While the matchup between Cooper and Thomas put on a show, the matchup between the teams as a whole was not as exciting. Auburn could not keep up with the intensity of LSU and ultimately fell 104-80. LSU shot 50% from three-point range and 53% overall, while Auburn made 7 of 28 three-point attempts and shot 37% overall.
Allen Flanagan was the second highest scorer for Auburn, scoring 13 points. Flanagan also had 5 of Auburn's 8 assists. JT Thora added 10 points to the Tigers' offense. LSU had 5 scorers in the double figures, including Trendon Watford, who scored 18 points and totaled 11 rebounds. Auburn started hot and led 10-5 before LSU took control. The Bengal Tigers led by 22 before Auburn closed the gap late in the half with a 7-0 run. The score going into the locker room was 50-34 after LSU out-rebounded Auburn 26-18 in the first 20 minutes. Thomas scored 16 first-half points for the home team, while Cooper led Auburn with 13. Bruce Pearl summed up the game in a simple word: disappointment. He said LSU beat his team in every position.
Man, I'm disappointed. I thought we had a great game plan. I thought we had a good week of preparation. I thought we were excited about playing. LSU switches everything, and so we try to take advantage of some mismatches, and there wasn't anybody on Auburn's team that could take advantage of that mismatch around the basket. They scored 50 points on 3 assists. It means they kind of lined us up and posted us up and beat us one-on-one. I think part of it is the competitiveness, the pride. So I think that, I was surprised that we weren't locked in, to, hey, here's what we got to do. We didn't do it. You know, our team has gotten better throughout the season, but these other teams have gotten better too. And obviously, these teams are playing with an edge and playing to get ready for postseason. And every game's life or death right now for them. So I can't invent. I got to keep it real. Just be honest with our guys. Like if my coaches were mad at me about something, and these guys are my best friends, and they were mad at me about something, we deal with it, whatever it was, right? But let's say one of my assistants was disappointed in me. Man, that would hurt. That would hurt. I'm disappointed. I think we're better than this. That was my message.
Baseball started Friday afternoon, and they started their season off in a big way. The Tigers swept Presbyterian and outscored them 22-5. Auburn kicked off the series Friday afternoon in Plainsman Park with a breakout first game. The Tigers recorded the program's most runs and largest margin of victory in a season opener since 2007 in the game. Judd Ward was the star of the show Friday as he matched his career high in hits and runs, going 4 for 5 with 4 runs, 2 RBIs, and finishing a triple shy of the cycle. Other runs came from transfers Bryson Ware and Josh Hall, who went a combined 5 for 8 with 3 runs and 5 RBIs in their Auburn debuts. Ware collected 3 hits and matched Rankin Woolley with a team-high 4 RBIs. Hall got the scoring started with an RBI triple and scored a pair of runs, and the Tigers secured the 14-3 win.
Senior Cody Greenhill on the mound for the Tigers on opening day and throws his first of 6 strikeouts on the day. Bottom of the second with 2 outs. Right fielder Josh Hall hammers one to deep right, and the right fielder can't get there, and he begins to have trouble handling the ball as 1 run scores. Hall around second and heads to third, where he stands up with an RBI triple, giving the Tigers a 1-0 lead with 2 outs. The Tigers were just getting started in the inning as Brody Moore slaps one into center and brings home Hall from third base as the Tigers take a 2-0 lead against Presbyterian with an RBI single with 2 outs. As pitcher Eric Miles looks to get out of the inning, Judd Ward sends a rocket into left field over the new Baseball Performance Center for his first home run of the season. Tigers with 4 runs in the inning. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th, Bryson Ware sends one down the line in left field. Ward and Moore both come home to score, and the JUCO transfer extends the lead to 6-1 with a 2 RBI single. Rankin Woolley up to bat in the bottom of the 7th, and all the big man knows how to do is hit home runs, sending a missile over the Green Monster. Tigers up 14-3 late in the game. Presbyterian down to its last strike, pops one up. Center fielder Mason Howell comes in, and that is the ball game. The Tigers win on opening day with a final of 14-3.
In Game 2 on Saturday, Richard Fitz got the Tigers off to a strong start on the mound, and Auburn got 4 shutout innings from 4 different relievers. Auburn's runs came from a trio of solo home runs from Bryson Ware, Nate LaRue, and Ryan Bliss. The home runs for Ware and LaRue were the first of their Auburn careers. Auburn secured the series win by defeating Presbyterian 6-1.
Auburn's bats were once again popping during Game 2 on Saturday as Bryson Ware hits a deep fly ball that is just able to stay inside the foul pole for a home run to give Auburn the 1-0 early lead in the first inning. Ground ball up the middle, and junior shortstop Ryan Bliss makes a sliding web gem play to get the out at first. Nate LaRue, up to the plate in the bottom of the 7th in a 1-run game, hits a no-doubter home run to left center field, making it a 3-1 Auburn lead. 2 batters later, Ryan Bliss decides to join the home run party with a deep ball to center, making it a 3-run game in the bottom of the 7th. With 1 out and 2 men on, Bliss fields the ground ball, tosses to second, then the throw to first, beats the runner to get them out of the 8th inning. Two-sport athlete John Samuel Schninker sends a ground ball that gets by both the third baseman and shortstop. Howell gets waved home and scores. The throw gets cut off and thrown to second, which is late. Schinker gets an RBI double. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, Presbyterian looks at a called third strike by Carson Skipper to end the ballgame. Auburn gets a series win and advances to 2-0 on the season with a 6-1 victory on Saturday.
Game 3 on Sunday was a back-and-forth matchup, which led to extra innings. Redshirt sophomore Bobby Pierce delivered a game-winning walk-off single in the bottom of the 10th to get the win and sweep for Auburn.
Mason Barnett gets the batter to swing and miss for his first strikeout in Game 3. Top of the second with a man on first. The runner goes, and perfect throw by Stephen Williams gets the runner out by a mile. 2 on with no outs. Ground ball to third, and Willie fields and throws home. The throw is on target, and Presbyterian gets caught trying to be aggressive for the out. With the man on first, Duncan Howard looks that way, and the ball gets away. Williams heads off to second. Presbyterian still trying to get the ball in as Williams decides to head to third. And the poor throw causes a two-base error by Presbyterian. Auburn with a man on third with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. With Williams on third, Josh Hall up to bat. Hall hits a fly ball to left field. Raspberry goes back, makes the catch, but Williams tags from third and scores the first run of the ball game. Auburn leads 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Top of the 9th with 1 on and 1 out. Shaw ground ball to shortstop. 6, 4, 3, double play. In extra innings, Rankin Woley hits a ground ball to third, and it gets past the third baseman. Woley on his way to second. Raspberry tries to make the play, but the throw is off target and late as Auburn has the game-winning run in scoring position with 1 out in the bottom of the 10th. Bobby Pierce comes in for his first at-bat and hits a ground ball up the middle that gets through. Woley gets the green light to go home. The throw is on target, but it's second late as the umpire signals safe. Auburn gets a series sweep 2-1.
Gymnastics got their much-needed first win of the season Friday night against a talented number 12 ranked Georgia team. Auburn topped the Bulldogs 197.050 to 196.150. Their score was Auburn's second highest of the season. The victory over the Bulldogs was Auburn's second straight home win against Georgia. Auburn set season best scores on 3 of the 4 events and 9 routines set or tied career bests. Bars was the Tigers' strongest event, scoring a 49.475. 4 of the 6 gymnasts put up scores that set or tied career highs. Cassie Stevens shined for the Tigers, winning all around with a career best 39.450. Darian Goburn also put out a strong performance, winning 3 of 4 individual titles and posting a 9.95 bar score. Auburn returns to action Friday against the number 1 ranked Florida Gators in Gainesville. That matchup will begin at 7:30 Central Time and can be found on SEC Network.
Auburn soccer kicked off the spring season Friday night, and freshman Anna Haddock helped the Tigers out in a big way. Haddock assisted on 4 of the team's 5 goals, becoming the first Tiger to record 4 assists in a single match since Tammy Wayne in 1999. Haddock's performance got her notice this week as she was named SEC Freshman of the Week and was named to her top drawer soccer team of the week. Other freshmen shined in the match as 4 girls got their first collegiate career goals Friday night. Olivia Candelino, Marissa Arias, Maddie Simpson, and Hannah Wash all put shots in the back of the net to lift Auburn over Kennesaw State. Corey Loxley scored the first goal of the night before the freshmen got rolling. While the offense was rolling, freshman goalkeeper Maddie Prohaska held down the goal with a shutout. Auburn continues their spring season on Friday, where they will host LSU at the Auburn Soccer Complex at 6:30.
Softball traveled down to Florida to play in the Osprey Dolphin Invitational and ended with a 2-1 record. The Tigers defeated South Carolina 5-4 and Jacksonville 5-1. Against South Carolina, freshman pitcher Maddie Penta pitched 7 innings and allowed 4 runs from 5 walks and 6 hits. Penta struck out a career-high 9 batters. Junior Aspen Godwin had a big game at the plate against the Gamecocks, going 2 for 3 with 2 RBI and her second home run of the season. Freshman Denver Bryant picked up 2 hits against South Carolina, including the first double of her career. In Game 2 against Jacksonville, the Tigers scored early, taking a 4-0 lead. Freshman Michaela Packer hit her first career home run in the second inning, which extended Auburn's lead. On the mound, Shelby Lowe and KK Dismukes kept Jacksonville scoreless through 6 innings before a solo home run by the Dolphins in the 7th, making the game 5-1.
On Sunday, the Tigers faced South Carolina again, but with a different result. The Gamecocks got scoring early as they scored runs in 3 of the first 4 innings and took a 6-1 going into the 5th. Auburn started to chip away at the lead, but the comeback bid fell short and Auburn lost 6-5. Head coach Mickey Dean said, "We kind of gave it away in the first 4 innings. We didn't pitch well, we didn't hit well, and had poor pitch selection. Our defense didn't make good decisions." Although the Tigers fell, there was a lot of good produced by the orange and blue. Junior Aspen Godwin slugged her second home run of the weekend, going 1 for 3 with an RBI. Alyssa Rivera had reached base safely in 18 consecutive games dating back to the 2020 season, and McKenna Dowell tied her career high as her hit streak extended to 8 games straight. Auburn returns to Jane B. Moore Field for the Tiger Invite this weekend. The Tigers welcome Jacksonville, Murray State, and IUPUI for the 4-day tournament. Auburn will open the tournament on Thursday against Jacksonville at 5 p.m. Central.
The women's tennis team made history Sunday when they defeated the number 22 ranked Florida Gators for the first time in program history. Auburn and Florida faced off 44 times dating back to 1982, and Auburn had never won until Sunday. The Tigers found themselves behind at first after dropping the doubles point and lost the first singles match, but Auburn showed off their singles depth as they battled back and won straight to finish off the day winning 4-2. Auburn head coach Caroline Lilly said, "Not often is a coach blessed with a group of young women who bring consistent joy to the practice court. These girls make coming to work every day, grinding to improve, an absolute privilege." The Tigers will take their first 2-0 SEC start since 2017 on the road next weekend as they face Vanderbilt Friday at 3 p.m. Central and Kentucky Sunday at 11 a.m. Central. When we come back, we will look at the full schedule that Auburn Athletics has this weekend. Keep it right here. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn.
The action-packed weekend for Auburn Athletics actually starts on Thursday. The swim and dive team will be competing in Day 2 of the SEC Men's Championships. Cross country and track and field will start Day 1 of 3 at the Indoor SEC Championship. Softball will have Game 1 of 5 this weekend as they kick off the Tiger Invite against Jacksonville. That game will start at 5 p.m. at Jane B. Moore Field. Women's basketball will end the night Thursday with a matchup against Arkansas in Auburn Arena. That matchup will tip off at 8 p.m. and can be found on SEC Network.
On Friday, the action starts at noon as baseball will play Oklahoma in their first game in the Round Rock Classic. Swimming and diving will be wrapping up their SEC Men's Championship as well as track and field, who will be doing the Day 2 of their SEC Indoor Championships. Softball has a doubleheader against Murray State with Game 1 being at 2:30 and Game 2 being at 5. Soccer will take on LSU at the Auburn Soccer Complex at 6:30, and the night caps off with gymnastics traveling to Gainesville for a showdown with the number 1 ranked Gators. That meet starts at 7:30.
The day kicks off with equestrian versus Georgia at 11 a.m. in Athens. Men's basketball also plays at 11 a.m. as they take on Tennessee in Auburn Arena. Baseball will play their second game of the Round Rock Classic against Baylor at noon. Softball has Game 4 and 5 of their Tiger Invite against IUPUI. First pitch is at 2:30.
Baseball will play Texas A&M in the final game of the Round Rock Classic. Women's basketball wraps up the weekend with a matchup against Tennessee at 1 p.m. That's all for Sports Night in Auburn, but for more Auburn sports, head to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, where we'll have everything you need to know to stay up to date on Auburn sports. I'm Taylor Strohmeyer.
And I'm Kayla Evans. For even more sports, follow our Twitter at EETV_sports and follow our Instagram at EagleEyeTV. Good night and War Eagle.